was an announcement about increased powers for big city mayors, but it looks like real estate is at the heart of it.
Yeah, definitely part of it. The Ford government says its Strong Mayors Building Homes Act is part of its plan to address the housing crisis, but opponents of the idea wonder at what cost. The Ontario government is predicting that the province's population will explode over the next 25 years, from 14.8 million now to 20.4 million by 2046, which is why Municipal Affairs and Housing Minister Steve Clark is proposing a new law that would give the mayors of the province's two biggest cities, Toronto and Ottawa, more power to build homes quicker.
If passed, the mayor would be able to appoint certain department heads, but also develop the budget. And that's really the playbook for the community as it moves forward.
The law would also allow mayors, if they so wish, the opportunity to veto bylaws that get in the way of the province's priorities. In this case, building 1.5 million homes over the next decade. Councils would have a chance to counter, however.
There are checks and balances in this bill that will allow a council to overrule a mayor. So my example is the budget that I spoke about earlier. The mayor would prepare the budget, present it to council. Council could amend it. The mayor could veto it, and then with 2/3, the council can make those changes.
Toronto Mayor John Tory voiced his support for the law, saying, quote, "This change is something that I've said I would support. I spoke about it before the last election." However, Jim Watson, the outgoing mayor of Ottawa, is asking his future replacement to refrain from wielding that power, suggesting the city of less than 1 million people doesn't need it. In the meantime, interim NDP leader Peter Tabuns says he has his reservations over the motivation behind the proposal.
Whether it's a vanity project on the part of the Premier or something to do with making sure developer friends have friendly councils that are controlled by a strong mayor, I don't know.
As for former Ontario PC leader, now president of the Ontario Real Estate Association, Tim Hudak, the announcement is being supported, saying, quote, "For too long, a small but vocal group of Ontario residents known as NIMBYs, or Not in My Backyard, have dominated municipal housing conversations, putting their own self-interest ahead of affordable homes for millennials, new Canadians, and those who don't come from wealthy families, particularly in large cities like Toronto and Ottawa." While the law is geared towards those two cities, Minister Clark did not hint that Hamilton's next mayor could soon be granted those powers too.
My message to any municipality, whether it be Hamilton or any other growing municipality that wants to be committed to growth, that wants to ensure that shovels can get in the ground faster, was we need to continue that conversation. But the best thing we can do is to ensure that this piece of legislation provides strong mayors in both Toronto and Ottawa.
Well, none of the mayoral candidates for Hamilton were able to comment on the proposed law in time for this report. Minister Clark says that these powers won't just influence housing, but other provincial priorities like transportation and infrastructure. And despite these new powers, the province could still overrule municipal government where they see fit.